So actually, this is like really radically well past my bedtime. I should be in bed sleep right now, but I got to get this off my chest before I go to bed, or I'm going to be up until I got to get up again, and that's not going to be good for us. I saw a video that Jackie Hill Perry did about like 10 days ago on YouTube. That now let me just say who, for those of you who don't know who Jackie Hill Perry is, she is a evangelical Bible teacher who was lesbian and is now not lesbian ? And has, so of course we don't agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on the whole gay ain't the way thing and ex-gay and she has 4 kids. She has a husband. She's living her life, but she's an amazing Bible teacher. I have to give her that. She's an amazing speaker and orator. Have to give her that. And she is funny. And if you are funny and you're good with words and you're an orator and you know how to actually read and interpret the scriptures, which are right here, that I can get with you even if we don't agree on a lot of stuff. And we do not agree on a lot of stuff. But she made a video about these preachers, and I put that in air quotes because a whole lot of what we're seeing in mainstream American Christianity is not preachers. It's Christian motivational speakers. There's a very big difference between those two things. But in the context of her video, she was talking about these evangelical ministers and preachers who in the middle of their sermon would just break out and say, and the Lord is saying. I hear God saying, the Lord told me to tell you. God told me to tell you. And she was challenging that and pushing back on that, and rightly so. And I co-signed on like 90% of the things that she said in that video, and just wanted to add my 2 cents in with that. One of the reasons why these ministers use those terms, God said or the Lord told me, is not because he's talking to them like that. And they know that he's not talking to them like that. They are using the terms, and the Lord said, and I hear God saying, so that they can exert and posture themselves and position themselves as authority figures before the people that they are supposed to be ministering to. I've heard it all the time. When I hear ministers do it, it irks my being and it irks my soul in the worst way, because several things. One, God ain't talking to you like that. And that's not what's really happening if you really got into the minutia of what was going on. What is going on, which is exactly what she said in her video, is they get a thought in the heat of the moment. It sounds really inspirational. So then they attach the Lord told me to that inspirational situation to give it more weight and authority. Now, here's my 2 cents to it. I was raised in a denomination in the Christian faith called Word of Faith. Not going to go into details with all of that right now. But in that denomination, one of the things that I'm so grateful for is, one, the solid teaching that I received being a part of that denomination and a part of a local church that was Word of Faith based. And one of the things that they taught us not to do, and what it was extremely looked down upon, and it still is looked down upon in that camp in Christian circles, is using the term the Lord said. God told me this. The Spirit told me this. The Lord told me that. We were taught, and I was taught, not to do that, because that's often not what's happening, and that's not what's going on. The main way that the Spirit leads a modern day believer is by the inward witness, because you're really not hearing most of the time God saying something. You're getting an impression, you're getting a sense, you may have a feeling of something, and you're wrapping words or endeavoring to wrap words around the things that you're sensing. That doesn't mean the Lord said it. And if you're going to use those terms, because different camps do different things, and say the Lord said, you need to put qualifiers around that stuff, because preachers are not infallible. Preachers can miss it. Preachers can mishear. They can hear wrongly. They can hear from their soul. They can also hear from familiar spirits. So for you to just be on the platform and just throw out loosely those tags of, and I hear the Lord saying, and thus saith the Lord, and God told me to tell you, and the Spirit says this, you are positioning young believers in the faith for danger, especially if they are not taught and have not been taught that they are to judge and weigh and critically appraise some of these things that these preachers are saying that is often unbiblical, is not accurate, and is not what the Spirit is saying. This stuff is ridiculous, and we got to stop it.